good evening, everybody, and welcome to Buffalo Wild Wings into 446 Sports and Around the Diamond with head coach Thomas Scully and Jordan Marks in the second half hour. Nick McMahon, Danny Clear talking boys, Eagles baseball. But before that, and in the leadoff spot are the Lady Eagles, and we also have with us Lainey Smith and Julio Ortiz, assistant coaches with the Lady Eagles. And probably in our second one, we'll try to get KK up here and give her some airtime. But we're glad to have you guys, and thanks for the reminder.
Well, hey, we were at practice, so we wasn't glued to our phones either. So
it's amazing when you get a text and you're like, "Hey, are you coming to the show?" And we got about 20 minutes to get here.
Yeah.
But I guess I kind of got into a lull because there were no games, this week.
Yeah.
We came off of a 16th win in a row, 6 games. We talked about it last Sunday, going through all 6 games, and then all of a sudden we were supposed to play Pine Prairie, but all the rain came in. Let's just talk about that. From a coach's aspect, you wanted to try to get a game in to improve not just the power rankings, but to get the girls playing. Because now you have a bye in the first round of the playoffs, so you're not having that competition, and there's a lull. Talk about it as a head coach, and then we'll talk about it, Lainey, on the pitching end of it, and then the hitting and fielding, Julio.
Well, for me, it's just logistics. It's just trying to get that last game in. We knew if we could play Pine Prairie and get the win, we had a chance to get to 3. We got over to Pine Prairie. We played 4 innings, and then the bottom fell out in the top of the 4th, so we were up 2-1. And it just didn't work out on getting the game in on Tuesday. That was on Monday, and on Tuesday we just couldn't get the game in. So we knew we were done as far as regular season. And then I had spoken with Pineville, and we actually did a little inter-squad on Friday, just a situational thing with Pineville, just going over what we had scouted off of University Lab, who we'll face on Tuesday. And so we kind of had that plan so we could give our pitchers a chance to throw a little bit, and we went for about an hour and a half and got quite a bit of work in, and it was really good. It was just like a practice, just practicing against a different team.
Yeah, and you're taking a Pineville team that's going to the playoffs as well. They needed the work. What are some of the things that you saw in that game?
Well, for us, it's just, we just took what I got off of University Lab on Thursday, and we implemented our coverages on Friday as far as bunt coverages, and just tried to get in situations, putting girls on base to start an inning with no outs or 1 out, and we just kind of did that back and forth. We really only, I think, got in 4 innings of play, but really it was just us just getting the quality work in on situations and letting 2 of our pitchers throw, Giordano and Mevin threw on Friday. So I thought we did well. We hit the ball pretty well, and then she threw 3 pitchers, and just to give us an idea of what their velocity is, University Lab. So that's really what we tried to gear up for.
So I'm not sure Lab knows about 446 Sports.
Oh, they know. Trust me.
Okay. All right. So we're not going to get a whole lot of in-depth, as to preparation and what we're preparing for. I mean, I think that's an aspect that maybe a lot of people don't realize how much preparation goes in to looking at the other team and scouting them and having a game plan against them, as opposed to just going out there and playing ball. You think about it in football and game plans, but I don't know how many people think about that. Coach Scully transitioned beautifully without probably even knowing it, but he talked about, or maybe he did. He's getting cunning at being up here, with all the experience that he's getting. But he perfectly talked about the pitching and getting the pitchers in. But I noticed one pitcher that he didn't mention to get some work in, and that is, Emily. Are we still dealing with,
yes,
issues with Emily?
She's not been released yet. So and I would go as far to say is we're not going to have her in the mound for playoffs just because of that injury. Hopefully we can get her in the lineup to hit at least.
Yeah, so, a designated player or something like that where she could at least hit but maybe not play in the field. But let's talk a little bit about pitching and preparation and getting the girls, some practice. Probably huge to be able to get out there on Friday and get that work in.
Yeah, I mean, it did Sophie and Kaylee good. I had Kaylee throwing a few different pitches than I usually call in a game. just, to get that work in, see where she was at with her location on those. And we worked it the day before, too, and she's picked it up pretty good.
Lainey, talk a little bit about, I would imagine that there's a lot of muscle memory, involved, and you want to make sure it's the positive muscle memory and not a negative kind that you get used to throwing, and then you can't find the strike zone until you can find that rhythm. What are some of the things that you work on with pitchers? I mean, not necessarily just Kaylee, but any pitcher that comes to work with you on trying to develop proper technique.
It's all about the drills that you do with the girls. And you make sure you do the same drills every time that they see you. Every day you try to do your drills. And that's when you focus on your fundamentals. You don't focus on fundamentals when you get on the mound. You start from wrist snaps, and then you go back.
Is there a lot of film watching involved in that? And now that film has really been developed and it's so easy to be able to get, film and go back and watch it?
Yeah. I don't take film on Kaylee very often unless she's struggling with something. But for a new pitcher, you do film them, and then you go back and you analyze it, and you say, okay, this is what you're doing wrong. You're disconnecting here. It depends on the pitcher what the problems are, and then you just go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure for me, I watch it, I call it, but as far as mechanics go, I wouldn't know the first thing about mechanics of throwing. I could throw it underhand kind of fast, but I don't know exactly.
You don't know where it's going.
I have pretty good aim.
Okay.
And a lot of that to me, I've always been like eye-hand coordination. If you look at something and then you try to hit it and you just keep throwing and throwing and throwing to hit that target, and then you get the feel of where that release point is, that's how I always learned. I threw rocks at telephone poles and until I could hit the telephone pole with regularity. I mean, is that
Yeah.
a valid way to do something? I mean, to practice?
I guess that I would say it is.
Talk about footwork, in a new pitcher. How do you start out? I mean, you think about, we haven't even seen, I haven't, maybe Sophie's thrown in a game this year, but I knew Emily had. I've seen her, and we filmed her, we filmed a game with her, but haven't seen anything with Sophie.
Yeah, I mean, every pitcher has a different delivery. Every pitcher has a different way that they pitch. So, again, it just goes back to the athlete, how they do, and then I adjust how I critique them based off of the way that they deliver the ball.
Julio, I know you've been sitting there for a long time going, man, is he ever going to get to me?
No, I'm good.
But let's talk a little bit about, your role on the team. I see you working with outfielders a lot, and then you do a lot with the hitting as well, hitting instructing. Talk about some of the things that you worked on this week. I mean, hitting's one of those things that you can kind of get inside, maybe in the gym with a pitching machine or something along that. If it's raining heavily, or actually y'all's nets are under cover.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's all about rhythm and timing, and man, Coach Scully does a great job of getting scouting reports, and based off the reports we get from other teams, that's how we approach the game. And we give the scout report to the girls, and that's how we come up with a game plan for our approach at the plate for those particular games. And not playing, having to wait, they kind of struggle a little bit. I would rather play 3 or 4 games in a row than have to sit around for a week and a half and play, because they throw some of their timing off, especially the younger ones. And, I mean, we've worked every day since, the Pine Prairie game, and it's just about, their mental approach. Can't really say what we're going to do on Tuesday, but the game plan's in. It's just about going out and execute now.
So all of the batters are going to face the same pitcher when they step into the plate. But do you have a different game plan for each batter?
You'd be surprised how every batter is going to be different. It's amazing. You would think that they would all be the same, but we say all the time, we don't want mechanical hitters. Every girl has their own unique style of hitting, and we have to adapt as coaches on how to better adjust each individual hitter. But, I mean, that's part of coaching, and that's what I love doing.
I've always heard, the batters get up there and go, all right, my game plan, I'm looking for a specific pitch and looking for it to be in a certain spot. And when I get that, that's where I'm going. Up until then, I'm going to, maybe hold off on swinging, unless it's somewhere close on the second strike.
And there's a whole lot of truth to that. I know Coach Scully talks to him a lot about patience, and I try to preach to him being selective, because what I would swing at is not necessarily what Coach Laney would swing at, and every girl's different, so their approach is going to be a little different when it comes to that aspect.
How do you prepare somebody if they have, I mean, trying to go back to the game, I wonder if it was the last game, the Rochelle girl for Airline who came in and her off-speed pitch was really good. Am I thinking of the right pitcher? Mm-hmm. You know, and it really kind of threw off the timing of our hitters. Right. And it took several innings before we were able to figure that out and to kind of hold off and wait on that pitch. What do you look for, just speaking of that Rochelle pitcher, you know, for Airline, how do you pick up on if it's going to be, you know, a changeup or?
So pretty much every pitcher's got certain tendencies that they pitch to. They tend to pitch to their strengths as opposed to the hitter's weaknesses. So whenever I'm at first base, I take a look at that, and we do a good job of communicating, and we'll adjust every inning according to that. So whenever the Rochelle girl came in, what we did was we got the girls up on the plate to take away that curveball in the outer half. We told the girls, hey, if she busts you inside and you can't get your hands to it, unless you got 2 strikes, don't swing at it.
Yeah, just kind of, if it gets too far inside, go ahead and let it hit you, right?
That's right.
That's a base.
Yeah, exactly.
Take those all day long.
The boys definitely take the girls. They'll shy away from it.
Haven't found one yet that'll not necessarily step into it, but make it look like you're trying to step away, but kind of getting in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was it, Gavin Dugas last year for LSU? I mean, he probably hit the most of any player. He would get nailed all the time.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, there are a lot of interesting conversation, at least for me anyway. Hopefully the fans out there listening and watching found it interesting as well. When we come back, we're going to talk about the standings. We're going to talk about the bracket, talk as much as we can about ULAB and the game coming up, because the game is Tuesday night at 5 o'clock at the Nest. And the beauty about this year with the number 4, we're at home as long as we win.
That's right. Until
it's time to go to Suffolk.
Correct.
All right, and we'll tease you with that, and we'll be back. You're watching Around the Diamond with head coach Thomas Scully, Laney Smith, and Julio Ortiz, and maybe we'll get KK up here in this next segment if she's willing to come up. But you're watching Menard Lady Eagles softball Around the Diamond on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier. Transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at the ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hawk. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
There are some things in life you can fix, and some things are better left to the professionals. When your vehicle has transmission problems, what will you do? Go where you know.
Go where you know. Certified Transmission. Time for a red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, you can save on a new energy saving system. No money down, 0% interest, and no payments till June 2024. Call Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing or visit us online.
Back live at Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm Tom Boucher alongside Tommy Scully, head coach of the Lady Eagles of Holy Savior Menard Central High School. KK Gallagher here with us. And Sophia Scully is here with us. I don't think, we haven't seen you since the LSUA pageant, have we?
No, you have not.
That's right.
Yeah.
Miss Congeniality.
Oh, you did Sunday.
You were here Sunday?
Yes,
Oh, you were
sir.
on the air? Okay. You got to remind me.
But thank you.
It's been a
Thank
long
you for
week.
the congrats. It has been a long week.
Yep. And look, she's already been back on the diamond. She misses it so much after 4 years at Menard. She was back on the diamond. Both of y'all playing?
No, I didn't. KK was coaching us up.
Oh, yeah. All right. Got a second job, do you? So we haven't seen you, KK, on the air at all. So welcome to the show Around the Diamond. Tell us a little bit. Pull that mic up right to your mouth. There you go. Tell us briefly before we start getting into all the brackets and talking playoffs and rankings and all that. Tell us about your job on the team and working with the girls.
My job for the team is mainly like being their motivation and getting his words into their ears in something that they can understand.
So how do you do that? How do you take what Coach,
Yeah, it's hard sometimes.
Get down, slide.
She's played for me, so she knows. So, yeah, she can interpret a little bit better than I sometimes give out.
Are able to do it, yeah. So,
in a different tone.
Yeah.
So your middle name is Wordsmith to be able to get it out.
Much.
I mean, Sophia had it down pat, right from the very beginning, they were I forget who it was running into second base or third base, and they stood up and didn't get down.
Sure.
And she said, Coach, Big Tom's going to yell at him that your mother has a washing machine. Come on, get down. Is that kind of how you explain it? Take the Tide Pod and put it in there. Get your uniform dirty. Come on. Coach, we've got the playoffs starting on Tuesday, 5 o'clock at home at the Nest. I mean, it's almost everything you wanted, in terms of being able to play at home. But as you said, you wanted a number 3 or maybe a number 6, in order to get out of the bracket that has Calvary Baptist in it and only meet them if you can in the finals. Calvary Baptist is number 1 at 31-2. St. Charles is number 2 at 20-5. Homa Christian number 3 at 20-9. And the Lady Eagles at 20-10. I mean, that's impressive, for all of y'all, to considering at one point y'all were 5-10?
Yeah.
Or maybe, what was it, 4-10?
It was 4-10.
Actually, because you're 16 wins in a row.
Right. It just boiled down to them coming together, and we knew that at the end of the day, we felt like we had that team. By the way we finished the season, we knew we had that team. We just had to get all the parts going. And, look, at this point, we're the 4 seed. You're going to have to face those teams anyway. You're going to have to face the Calvaries and the St. Charleses and the Homa Christian somehow, some way. Hopefully we get that opportunity. But, here's the thing. When you get in the playoffs, you just take one game at a time. University Lab is the team that will play their 13 seed. They're 15-7 on the season. They've played some really good quality opponents. They've got a lot of speed. They've got two different pitchers, one that's an average pitcher and one that has a little bit of velocity. But their team speed is probably the best I've ever seen. They've got more team speed than we have. They do a good job of slapping and bunting and executing and putting pressure on your defense. And, that's what I love. I love when our defense has pressure on them because I feel like we're at our best. And we've had some girls on the corners for a few years, so they're comfortable with what we're doing. So we simulate that a little bit in practice, and just to have 2 home games, and that was our goal. It didn't matter if we finished 3 or 4, just to be able to be home in the quarters. We hadn't been home in the quarter since 2019, so very excited. And a good Universal Lab team coming in, and then if we're fortunate to get past him, then we'll have the winner out of Parkview Baptist and Notre Dame.
Well, I was just trying to look at it in terms of not having to play because of the bye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, was it with all the rain that we had Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? Was it better to have that bye rather than trying to squeak one in order to then get to this week?
Well, I don't consider having any days off, so I mean, if that's what you, the rain doesn't bother us.
Okay,
we still practice. We just couldn't get on the field.
Right. I mean, and then you were able to get Pineville together, and go. But ULAB played, in a playoff game. You know, your team is still young coming into this one.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about the speed. Kate Parati's going to have to be on her guard at catcher. If they get on base.
Sure.
Have you seen it on film? Are they trying to steal bases?
Oh, they're going to steal bases. Their leadoff hitters had 160 consecutive stolen bases without being thrown out. Probably the fastest kid I've ever seen. And she's in the leadoff. And then their 8-hole hitter, she runs about I would say a 2-2 to first. So, that's pretty good speed there. That's clipping right along down that baseline.
So, KK, how do you get that into Kate Parati's ears, what Coach just said?
Yeah, it's more of just telling her, like, we've been practicing and everything, so it's more of just saying, like, you know how to do this, just do it. Make sure you watch the ball, the whole time.
Yeah,
and just have confidence.
She's going to have to rely on that peripheral vision, in terms of seeing if they take off, but still keeping the eye on the ball to be able to catch it.
With our dugout, telling them that the base runner's going.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
Everybody's yelling, go,
Everybody
go, go.
Communicating.
And especially she's going to be on guard. She does a great job of blocking balls too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll bet if one's in the dirt, she's got to come up ready to throw because she's probably going if she sees it in the dirt.
And she's going to go even if you pitch out, she'll go. And she might be safe even if you pitch it out. We just got to, we just got to contain her a little bit. It's about not making sure she gets home and getting that run across. There's no doubt they're going to steal bases if they have the opportunity to get on base, which I think they will. Our thing is to have an opportunity to throw them out at first. Let them get the bunt down, and then, we need to do the job of covering the bunt and getting the throw over the first in time. And look, we've faced teams that have done that. I'm not going to say we can't do it. Just a little different speed that we're seeing. And he's got a young team too. I mean, they're going to be aggressive and they're excited to be coming here and just a quality team. They played Acadiana Renaissance Charter on Thursday, and they beat them 16-1, and that game lasted like 52 minutes.
Well, it's going to be a good one at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. We'll have it live on 446 Sports. I'm going to be by myself for a little while until about 6. So, or maybe I'm going to be by myself the whole time. Sophia's telling me. There you go.
Yes.
That's what I get for being late tonight.
Sorry, Tom. I was also late tonight, but it's fine.
All right, Coach, real quickly, talk about the brackets because we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to bring Emma Davis up.
Yeah.
And then we'll be out of here at about the 7:30 time frame.
Yeah. Well, so what will happen is we're in Calvary's. We're in the top of the bracket. Calvary will take on Beekman Charter on Tuesday. They'll play at 5 o'clock at Calvary. And then the 8 and 9 seed Fisher and Patrick Taylor play also on Tuesday. They'll play at 4:30. And then Notre Dame and Parkview Baptist will actually play also on Tuesday. They'll play at 5:30 in Crowley. And then, of course, we'll be taking on Universal Lab at 5. And then on the bottom half, the number 2 seed, which is St. Charles, they'll play Catholic New Iberia on Tuesday as well at 4:30 at St. Charles. The 3 seed, Houma Christian, takes on Thomas Jefferson, who won 3-1 over Dunham on Friday. They'll take on... Houma Christian will take on Thomas Jefferson on Tuesday as well. And then Glen Moore with the big upset that's in our district. They beat Country Day, who was the 11 seed. Glen Moore was the 22 seed. They beat them 20-2. And they'll travel up north to take on Darbone Woods at that'll be actually tomorrow at 5:30 up at Darbone Woods. And then the 7 and 10 seed, North Lake Christian, taking on Pope John Paul. Pope John Paul beat Episcopal 10-2. And then they'll travel over to North Lake Christian. And they'll play on Wednesday. Actually, that's the last play-in date is Wednesday. And then they'll play at 6 o'clock on Wednesday at North Lake Christian.
So we're thinking, well, we know ULab on Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Lady Eagles, when we get by that one, and I know we're focused on that one, do we go through the whole weekend and into next week before we play again, or is it later that week?
We can either play Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Right now, it's calling for rain on Thursday and Saturday, so we'll just kind of wait and see. Yeah, we would love to play Saturday, depending on if they want to play Saturday, but, we'll see. We may play Friday.
But you have to have the game played by
Saturday. And then the winner of that, you just take the entire week off. That'll be a quarterfinal matchup. And that's the interesting thing. You rush and play 34 games in 8 weeks, and then you play 3 games in 2 weeks.
Wow, yeah. Well, maybe this week was the practice for that little gap.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, we'll be back with more Around the Diamond. A couple of minutes when we come back, we're going to visit with Emma Davis. You're watching Around the Diamond with Coach Scully on 446 Sports. We're live at Buffalo Wild Wings. You still got time to come out and join the big crowd that we have. Back in a moment.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pineville.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
All right, now you can see us. You can hear us before, but we are live at Buffalo Wild Wings, Around the Diamond with Coach Tom Scully, Sophia Scully here, joined by Emma Davis, who was the starting second baseman for the Lady Eagles, now the starting shortstop, until we can get Emily Davis back and healthy, hopefully.
Emily
DeSalle. One of those D's.
Yeah.
But you are Emma Davis
Yes,
at shortstop. Emma, talk about that change, and it was kind of last minute or last second, because you never know when an injury is going to happen.
Well, thankfully, I've played short a little bit my past years playing on this team, so I'm kind of used to it a little bit, but it's definitely different, a lot more involved than second, but I'm getting used to it.
So Ledette is over at second taking your spot.
Yes.
What kind of work have you done with her to try to develop, help her develop, but then develop a chemistry, for you two covering second and working out, everything that has to go with that?
Well, every game I try to tell her, just get the nerves out. It's fine. I have your back. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'll tell you. And if we have a runner at first, I'll tell her to turn two. And I let her know what's happening before the play starts so she doesn't feel nervous and overwhelmed.
Well, I know the weekend games that we had, there were some really nice plays that you made. A backhanded stab and then set your feet and threw over to first and got them in time. Catching the grounder behind second base, and able to square up and throw them at first. Were you just calm that whole time, or were you trying to keep yourself calm, talking to yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. I pretty much just in my own world half the time. I don't really think about other things. I do, but whenever plays come, I stay focused on it. So I guess that just happened.
So are you in your own world whenever you go into third standing up, and then coach is there to talk to you about that?
What do you mean? Wait, what?
When you don't slide?
When you don't slide?
I think I do slide.
We have video
Sometimes.
evidence.
I think there was maybe the last game or the second to last game. You came into third and you heard about not hitting the deck.
Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, I try to most of the time slide, do my best.
So at the plate, having a good year at the plate, tell us a little bit about, in about 30 seconds, how you go about when you step into the plate, being ready.
Pretty much the same as last time. I just go up to the plate with the same approach of, like, I got to do a job for my team, and I got to make the first, like, get a rally going, and hopefully that encourages everyone else to do the same.
Yeah, because you're starting at the top of the lineup,
Yes,
using your speed, and just very impressive. Great job. Good luck Tuesday. Good luck, Coach Tuesday. Any last words or a quick question?
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. Coach, last word.
Go Eagles.
All right, that's it. Go Eagles. We'll be back with the boys coming up with Nick Magnano, Danny Clear, and all the coaches and players. More Around the Diamond when we come back. We're live at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at the ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hawk. Learn more about how Farm Bureau Insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
There are some things in life you can fix, and some things are better left to the professionals. When your vehicle has transmission problems, what will you do? Go where you know.
Go where you know, Certified Transmission.
And welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings here in Alexandria, Louisiana. We're for Around the Diamond with Coach Scully and Coach Marks. So got softball out of the way. I know they've done really well, but now it's time for baseball. Coach Jordan Marks, Danny Clear with me. I'm Nick Magnano. Appreciate you all joining us. Let's talk about this past week. Start out a good Monday with a game that was surprised to get in against Grant. Played through some rain delays. Let's talk about Monday.
Yeah, no, Monday was good. I think everybody doubted that we were going to get that game in. I think we were the only people in the parish that played. But,
yes, you were.
That's the joys of having turf. And, compliments to everybody who helped put that turf deal together. It paid off, Tough night. I mean, it was a good night for us, I thought. We played as best as we could in the rain and the weather conditions and everything else. And Grant's a good ball club. I think they got 16, 17 wins now. And it was good to just get that game in and come out on top. Like I said, the conditions weren't, fair by no means, but battled a few on and off the fields, during the lightning and rain and this and that, and still went through some adversity and came back and ended up winning 4-1, 3-1? 4-1. 4-1, yeah. So.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. And then Tuesday we had Glenmore, so. Ended up being a closer ball game than it has been in the past, but hats off to Glenmore. They're another, 17-win team. But I thought the guys battled. We obviously weren't playing our best ball that day, and again fought through some adversity, some stuff that, set the schedule up this year to go through. We went through adversity at the beginning of the season, and the guys were used to it, and it shows, and it paid off during the district matchup against Glenmore.
That was also senior night.
That was senior night.
That's
right. A lot of festivities, a lot of distractions off the field, but, hats off to those 14 seniors that went through senior night and their families and everything else, and I thought it was a really good night for everybody.
I was reading the bios on the broadcast, and Danny was changing the pictures and everything, and I had to catch my breath a few times. I mean, that's a lot of kids.
To roll through 14 of them,
yeah.
We started that thing early just so we, say, well, if this thing lasts 30, 40 minutes, well.
You guys gave them was that a wooden bat, wooden fungo? What was the
It's
gift?
a wood bat.
A wood bat,
we
okay.
order those from Max Bat Company, and they're really nice. I'll have to send you a picture of them. It says Holy Savior Menard Class of 2024 seniors and their name on them. Green and white bats. They're good-looking bats. So something we do every year for the seniors. But that night was good. I was glad to get senior night in. I was kind of worried with the rain there too on Tuesday, but I'm glad we got that in and got that behind us.
Who came up with the dads throwing the first pitch to each one of their kids?
I can't remember. So I've been in Menard 6 years, and all 6 years we've done it. And what I do is I give all the guys a baseball, and they write a letter to their dad.
Oh, wow.
And
Didn't know that part.
They put it in their locker, and then I give the dads, a brand new ball. And so when you throw the first pitch, their sons run out and give them the ball where they trade the balls in between that. So it's something, something that's special to the dads. Parents spend a lot of time, money, and energy, with kids throughout their lives, chasing baseball parks, going to baseball parks, this and that. And so it's always good to do a little something, show a little appreciation. So,
and then talking about the turf, you guys were supposed to go on the road to Glenmore on Thursday. Since you have the turf, and it looks like you mowed the outfield that day, and it was a little soft.
I did.
You guys were the away team for your Thursday contest at Menard again, but. And that one was very close, Coach.
Very close. Way closer than I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
So talk about Gavin, what he did on the mound. Because we had talked to Coach Turney on Tuesday night about the plan for pitching, and he said, all arms, Johnny Holstaff.
That's right.
And that was the plan. But then when Gavin started shoving, it was kind of hard to get it off the mound.
No doubt. And I talked to Gavin that day at school that morning. I said, hey, look, you want the bump? You got it. He said, I'll take it, Coach. He said, how many am I going? I said, look, I don't know. I'd like to get some guys some innings and this and that. Maybe go 3, 4. We'll see how the game goes. He looked at me in the third inning and said, I got this. So hats off to Gavin. He threw really well. I think he had 14 strikeouts that game. I don't know how many hits he gave up. 3. Maybe 3.
3.
And 1 walk, maybe?
1 walk, 3 hits.
I mean, threw lights out,
Yep. I felt like, I think we talked about it after the game. I felt like he got the ump kind of gave him the shaft a few times because he was throwing fast. So, I don't blame the batters for trying to get him out of his rhythm. But I felt like there was a couple times, and then he gave up the hit on the kid that got the time before, I thought, actually, after Gavin had started his windup.
There was 3 of them after he started windup. And I don't know. High school umpires, high school ball, but those kids were trying to get to him. They were definitely trying to get to him. And I can't say we wouldn't have done the same thing if a guy's cruising like that with 14 punch outs. But
he was picking because we thought maybe at one point, whenever the Parks kid come in to pitch against y'all, I think you've seen 4 pitches 1 inning and about 6 pitches the second inning.
That's right.
And I'm like, it's time for one of those offensive timeouts to go up there.
That's right.
Well, we were, Danny's the technical guy, so after the game, he asked Gavin, he said, what was working tonight? And he said, everything, because the umpire strike zone was huge. It was massive. So,
he was white to white that game. We picked that up early and, took advantage of it on the defensive side for sure. Offensive side, I told him after the first inning, I said, hey, look, this guy's giving 4 inches, 6 inches on each side. I said, hit your pitch early in the count. When you get 2 strikes, you got to battle. And we hit some balls hard. We barreled some balls that day. We just, it's baseball, just right at them, stuff like that. But I like to see guys go through adversity like that, late in the season and get us ready for the playoffs because playoffs is going to be tough.
Well, and of course we can beat the dead horse. We talked about it that early in the season, you were playing games like this and you were losing.
Yeah.
And now you're like you said, you've prepared them. They're battled. They'll come through, and they've come through here, particularly last week, but in some other games where they might not have had their best game, but they've found a way.
To win. That's right. And then we preached it all year. That's what good ball clubs do. They find a way to win at the end of the game. So hats off to the guys for getting through the week undefeated, another district championship undefeated. That's 2 years in a row for in this district. And really that's our goal every year. In 6 years, we lost one district game. So if we don't go through district undefeated, I feel like we fell short of our goal. So
we'll talk about pitching. We'll go back to Monday night. Cohen has been the not so beneficiary of some early season games where he's pitching against really good teams, maybe some errors, and didn't start out win-loss record the way he probably would want to. But he battled that night and pitched you 6 innings of great baseball.
There's no doubt. And Cohen knows that. I mean, he's set up to be our number one this year, so I told him, look, you're going to get some tough games, and especially early when we don't play our best, you're just going to have to battle through it. And I don't think Cohen's the type of guy that looks at wins and losses. He just gets out there and competes. But another great outing by him. For sure on Monday night against Grant.
And then we noticed that you really wanted that game because you brought Cooper in to close it out.
Yeah, I had him prepared. He was on short rest, and I wasn't going to throw him many pitches. I think he came in through 9 pitches and got out of there. Yep. But, that's the mentality Cooper had. I looked him in the square in the eye and said, go get this one, And he yes, sir, coach, and went out and got it done. But, we needed that one, which I think helps us, or I know helped us get to 4 and hopefully lock up that 4 spot. I think we're 1.5 points in the PowerPoint systems ahead of number 5. But we needed that game. It was crucial. So I definitely sold out to win that game.
Yeah. So, Coach, before we go to break, we're going to have 2 seniors come up after. I know one's going to be Drew. You're going to bring up Ben as well?
Yeah,
okay.
Jaden's got work on Sunday.
Oh,
so
okay.
He works at Super One Food, so he can't come on Sunday. So I got Ben and Drew Knapp. So.
Well, if we can, let's try to get Jaden on one of the broadcasts. Maybe pre-game one of the broadcasts.
Yeah.
Something that way we can talk to him about it. Let's talk to us about Drew.
Drew Knapp's been with us all 4 years. He started off pitching a little bit, and he just he's battling some injuries and stuff like that, and so he's a good team guy to have. He's a leader. He's obviously a senior, and he shows up and still battles through stuff and works each and every day. So
excellent. Well, we're going to go to break. You're watching Around the Diamond with Scully and Marks at Buffalo Wild Wings on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Time for our red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, you can save on a new energy saving system. No money down, 0% interest, and no payments till June 2024. Call Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing or visit us online.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
And welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings for Around the Diamond with Coach Scully and Coach Marks. I'm Nick McNano, Danny Clear, and we're now joined by two seniors, Ben Wade and Drew Knapp. But before we talk to these young men, I just wanted to point out that I failed on the broadcast to mention that Cody Lyons has shot a .221 bowling for the Holy Rollers, and I just wanted to mention that while we're doing the senior spotlight. But guys, welcome to the show. Ben's been on before. Appreciate you coming back. Drew, first time. Man, this is like rapid fire. You know, I mean, we go in, man, we're tough. So don't flinch on us, Drew.
We're going to let you ask some questions, too. Okay?
I don't know about all that, guys. I'm not taking y'all's job.
All right, so Ben's already told us he's been up here. So Drew, favorite food, not place, favorite food. What we eating?
Crawfish.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good one here.
Prices are coming down now.
Yeah, exactly.
I might buy some.
Yeah, same here. My wife's been on me for that too. So, what school? Where are you going whenever you leave Menard? You gonna go to college, or are you gonna focus on work, or what you doing?
I'm thinking about going to work.
Okay.
I may go to trade school.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. What trade are you looking into?
Either plumbing or HVAC.
Hey, man, that's great stuff. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
My dad was an electrician. My dad worked at the Votech. He taught electrical. And tradespeople are very valuable these days. And look, my friend, you can make a lot of money doing that because a lot of people pay a lot of good money for that stuff. So that's great.
Yes, sir.
What about your favorite moment in Menard baseball? I mean, not over high school. Favorite moment in Menard baseball?
Probably, I would have to say when Gavin Hilton threw that 14 strikeout game.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Stuff. There we go.
A lot of emotion in the dugout.
I bet there was people a little tight in that dugout that game.
Oh, yeah. I was on the field.
You was on the field?
Yeah.
So what? Let's see. What's the best baseball movie you've seen?
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yep.
That was the pitch at the end.
Who's got the best walk-up song?
If you don't say Ben Wade, I'm a
No, hey, don't peer pressure. Not on this.
I would have to say Drake Aldridge.
Oh,
Drake.
okay, that's a new one.
Yeah.
All right, best dancer on the team.
Jaden Williams.
Oh,
yeah.
man, so we're up to
Carter would have to disagree with him on that, but you know.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to. We might have to get a little that's if we ever get in a rain delay or something, we might have to get some cameras and get out there. So.
Ben, you got a question for Drew?
I don't have any questions for Drew. How you doing today, man? Good. How about you? Doing all right.
So we actually have been weighed up 446 as a player of the week. Of course, our founder, Doug, who prints the shirts, he got called out today to do a game, so we don't have a shirt for you. Sorry to present, but you are.
I got it?
You are the.
No way.
Yep, you are the 446 player of the week. Danny, let's talk about his stats for the week.
So we had you going 400 for the week.
400.
Yeah.
That's a nice number.
That is. We but you was 4 for 7 after the first two nights.
Well, let's not talk about the third night.
The third night, that umpire, I want to meet him again one day, but anytime soon.
Look, but besides the hitting, you hit 400 for the week. We thought you called 3 great games, particularly with Monday night and Thursday night game with Gavin. 14 strikeouts. You called the game. Yeah. Monday night's game was a tough game because it was wet and you had a lot going on. So those were a lot of the big reasons. We thought you handled the staff really well, and besides starting to barrel up some balls, and that I know you're happy to see. But starting to barrel up some balls, moved you up to the 5-hole. Is that you like that up there?
Kinda. I like being behind Drake.
Okay.
The only thing I don't like is he clogs up the bases whenever he gets on, if he walks or something. But that's all right. But it's nice to have Butters behind me who I can trust to knock in some more runs for us.
Gotcha.
So it's always. But appreciate y'all very much.
Yep.
I like it. Clogs up the bases, butters. I like it, man. I mean,
Well, but look, you don't have to worry about it because if you get on base behind him, you're getting run for.
I know, and I don't know why they do that. I keep telling them, hey, let me run. But the other day, we were at practice, and we did, like, relays around the bases. And I ruined that chance of me ever going to run the bases. I tripped over second base and went head
That'll
first.
do it. That'll do
so
it.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get the call to run.
That's when you want dirt.
Yeah.
When you trip,
Yeah.
that's when you want dirt. So, Drew, other sports that you play at, you play any other sports at Menard or involved with?
I'm also a holy roller.
Oh, that's what I'm talking. What do you bowl?
What's your average?
My average this year was 142.
Man,
Not
nothing wrong
bad,
with that.
not bad.
Nothing wrong with that at all. So.
What's a high game? What about your high game?
I had a 230 something this year.
Nice.
See, that's where you need to start. You need to start with that and then talk about that.
Look, I don't know high school ball. I don't know how it works in high school, but when you go and you bowl in league, you want a low average, and then you want to bust that 230 on them, and then you get all those handicap points for that. So, high school probably don't work like that, but
I got you.
The adult beverage leagues on the weekdays, those are the ones where you keep the 140 and you throw a 200 and you make people mad. So.
Gotcha. So Holy Rollers, baseball. Okay, like I said, thinking about going to trade school or working, which, man, I commend that a lot. So let's talk about this senior group, Drew. What has this senior group meant to you?
It's really just been family. I mean, I've been with them since freshman year.
Okay.
They've always been there for you. And it's just always been a good group to be around.
That's good. That's good. What about you?
Pretty much what he said. It's a lot of family. It's a lot of love and care for one another. There's jokes around the locker room for sure. Everyone has their moments and wants to mess with everybody. But everyone's really just a whole, and that's what really makes us one of the best teams in Sinlaw right now.
All right, who's the best prankster on the team?
Oh.
Doesn't have to be a senior.
Prankster?
Best prankster. There's got to be one.
I don't know.
I really don't know.
Oh, Cohen LaRue. LaRue,
yeah.
easy.
He puts tails on people.
Cohen's horrible. Not going to lie. But it's okay, though. We love him.
That's what I'm talking about. There was I don't know if y'all look at his mom's post on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
That look on his face.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine what he was saying in those moments.
So, Ben, we got tomorrow night, we got Buckeye. Mm-hmm. But then the next part of the season starts.
Right.
And so we're looking like right now we got a couple rounds at home before we have to go. So what are you expecting from the Eagles to come out with for playoffs?
So playoffs is really it's going to be an exciting atmosphere. So I don't think we've had 2 home playoff games to get to host in like years. I don't think they did it whenever Jordan was in school, Coach Jordan was in school. But it's going to be an atmosphere. It's going to be a place to be really hard for a visiting team to come play at. And I'm hoping we go back to Sulphur. That's the only thing I have in my mind.
All right. We're looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, we definitely appreciate it. So, Drew, Knapp, Ben Wade, and it's been fun watching you all, getting to meet you all as well. And we're gonna when we come back, we're gonna have Coach Jordan and Coach Drew Scully up. You're watching Around the Diamond with Scully and Marks at Buffalo Wild Wings on 446 Sports.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
At Certified Transmission, you can count on our certified mechanics with over 35 years experience to get your vehicle fixed right and get you back on the road.
Got transmission problems? Go where you know. Certified Transmission.
And welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings here in Alexandria, Louisiana for Around the Diamond with Coach Scully and Coach Marks. We're now joined, obviously, by Coach Jordan. He's back on screen. Coach Drew Scully, who's been on a few times. So, Coach, let's talk about this week and let's talk about Buckeye.
So you got Buckeye tomorrow at their place, 6 o'clock. It's going to be a good one. I think Buckeye's number 4 right now. Probably looking to get into either stay 4 or get into 3 or 2. So they're going to throw everything they have at us. I'm sure Coach Stewart Morgan's over there. He does a good job, and I'm sure he's going to have his guys pumped up, ready to go. I talked to our team Friday and challenged them. Said, look, we didn't show up the last 2 district games, so Buckeye's going to be coming for us. We're going to be playing on the road. Last game of the season. There's a lot of intangibles going on, and just challenge. Said, look. It's our time, so we're fighting to stay in a 4th seed. Like I said, I don't know if we, happen to lose that game, what would happen, but you never want to go out with a loss in the regular season, last game of the year. So at least we don't. So it's going to be a tough one. We're going to see their guy, little Adam Broadnack's kid. I say little, he's big, but he's probably a mid to upper 80s on. So it's going to be a quality playoff atmosphere game.
So it's been a couple weeks, Coach Drew. I'm going to call you Coach Drew because there is another Coach Scully. So
that's right.
Since you've been on, talk about the last 2 weeks. What do you think's been the difference in the team?
I think that the distractions are starting to go away, and I think the guys really are getting back focused to where it needs to be. The whole season, everybody talks about it being a grind, and it truly is. It goes from playing every day, practicing every day, to we got 30 games. Okay, well now we got 1 game left, guys, and then you got to really lock in. So now that it's coming down to the end, these guys really, I think their mindset's changing in the box, and their mindset as far as what we're trying to accomplish as a team, is back to where it needs to be.
All right, before Coach Danny starts asking a serious question, where are we at in Fungo Golf?
I had a pretty solid round the last time I went out. Some say like Colin Morikawa-esque. I was in the lead, kind of blew it, but Scotty Scheffler.
Coach Jordan put the pressure on him and he folded.
Pressure never folds.
Oh, I got you.
So we kind of talk about playoffs a little bit, but before we get to that, we at least know we're locked into a first-round bye.
That's right.
And so we're looking to set
and
up
a first-round home playoff game.
Correct, right. But we're looking Friday. We got something on the books for a little scrimmage or
we're going to scrimmage South Beauregard. Those guys are really good, and we're going to use the rest of the week after Buckeye on Monday to practice a little bit, work on some things we need to work on as a team, and then we're going to see a really, really quality opponent. I think they're number 1 in Division III non-select. So we're going to play a little exhibition game with them. It doesn't count. It's just kind of like a tune-up game for the playoffs.
And we had talked about with Coach Turney, like tomorrow night, you got Buckeye, your arms. You got everybody available.
I got everybody on the show.
Everybody available, yep. and then you got plenty of days off before you get to Friday.
That's
you
right.
can set up your rotation to get into the playoffs and get some guys some work then too. Right?
No doubt. It's just tough going, 2 weeks without play, and we play 3-game sets that we usually do, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday. So you're gonna have a 2-week stretch where you don't play anybody, especially when we get a first-round bye. So we like to throw somebody. Last year we played Rose Pine in a really good little tune-up game, and South Bow we hadn't played them. I hadn't played them the whole time I was been at Menard, but Jeremy DeVille over there, he does a really good job. And
they're in that district. I'm gonna say they're in that district with St. Louis too, right?
And Iowa.
And Iowa. They're a quality ball club, real quality.
So stepping into playoffs, obviously we got Monday. We still got one more playing date for people to move up, down. Like you had talked about where we're at. You're at 4. 1.5 ahead. Regardless, we feel like we kind of might stay there, but there's still changes to be made. But if the playoffs started today, you would have the winner out of Darbone Woods charter and Beekman charter, and then that would be at home. And if it stayed the same way, then you're matched up with Dunham currently. So we got a lot of scouting, a lot of learning to do about some of these teams, right?
No doubt. We played Dunham last year, and during week 2, Coach Wes Terrio's over there. He does a really good job. He's an LSU guy. And then we watched them play in the semifinals. They got beat by St. Charles in the semis last year. They played the game right after us, so we stayed. He does a really good job. look, 1 through, I always say that 1 through 20 in this division is stacked. You know,
we was looking at D'Arbonne Woods, and they play in that district up north with
Calvary,
Loyola Calvary,
Yep.
and everything, and they've got some wins against some of the top teams in there. So
That's
it looks
right.
like they might have at least one arm for sure that's going to give you some fits.
No doubt. And that's why I like this Monday game against Buckeye. We're going to see a playoff, so to speak, arm because everybody's going to have one guy that runs it up there, and so I'm excited about it. I'm excited. I think our guys are going to be up for the challenge.
And it's best 2 out of 3
in the playoffs.
Every round
in
this. Okay.
Yep. Every round except the semifinals and finals.
Right. I'm
and
sorry.
we'll be in Sulphur for them, but yep. Every round, the second round and quarterfinals are both 3-game series.
Coach Drew, let's talk about some of the younger guys since we have a few minutes. Talk about some of the younger guys that we haven't seen on the broadcast. We haven't seen play much this year. Looking forward to next year. I know you're involved with the JV program. Let's talk about some of those guys. What do we have coming up?
Absolutely. They got a young group of freshmen right now that are really out there competing pretty well, holding their own. Reeve Scroggs, he's came in a few varsity games. James Tishner's been in a few varsity games. Shelton, J.D. Shelton. Another, just true freshmen out there that are really getting their opportunity just because they're making the most of their opportunity during the JV, And then the sophomore class, they got, what's his name? They got Tyson, they got Evans, just some bigger guys that pretty good job swinging the bat, especially whenever they get a hold of it. And then defensively, I think they've been playing really well. Coach Marks focuses a lot on defense, make sure to make the routine play kind of thing. So those guys really bought into it. Flip some positions around, and they found a way to do it. Ortiz, Nico, pretty good player. And then they also, you got Hicks, you got Robert Henry's doing a great job pitching, really stepping up, especially his breaking balls the last 2 games. It's been pretty good. And some say he throws harder than his brother. I'm not the one holding the gun, but I'm just saying it out there.
No, Austin's going to do a good job for us. We're working on some command stuff with him and the breaking ball, secondary pitch, and I look for him to be the ace of the staff next year. So even though we haven't seen him in the varsity games, what happens when you have 14 seniors who are all quality athletes, But we have a motto, and we've had the same motto even when Coach Drew played for me, work while you wait. So those guys are constantly working while they're waiting on their opportunity, and the senior class obviously has shed some light on them and showed them how to work and what it takes to be successful off the field and when nobody's watching.
So my question was, how close were we to seeing Shelton the other night against Glenmore?
Really close. Gavin got up there in pitch count. When he hit 90, I said he hadn't thrown in a few weeks, especially not that amount of pitches.
Yeah.
And like I said, we only wanted to throw him 3 or 4 innings to let some other guys get some work. But we had him in the pen, and he's a strike thrower, and he's bailed us out of some jams, and he's been in some tight jams.
Yep.
So I think he was ready for the moment.
So, time 1, 90 feet away with 1 out.
Yeah.
But with 1 out, second and third with 1 out, I think.
And he got a strikeout.
Yep. 2 strikeouts in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
We were a hit away from losing that game.
Yes, for sure. But that's great stuff, and I like what you said about the defense. That's one thing we were talking about earlier is how these guys, your pitching staff does not have to throw a perfect game.
Absolutely.
If they put the ball in play 95% of the time, it's going to be a quality defensive play.
And I think that's why JD and even Tishner are so successful. They just got to throw strikes. That's all we tell them: pitch to contact. They're not a big strikeout guys, but they're going to fill up the strike zone and give you a chance because it's going to hit off into the bat and we'll have the opportunity to make a play.
Okay. Well, guys, we're about to wrap it up. Tomorrow will not be on 446 Sports. We're going to try to cover some of the South Bow game. We're going to try to come up with a little different camera angle, see if we can't work that out. It may not
be ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, it may not be a game time, but we're trying to get ready. So we appreciate that. So for Coach Jordan Mars, Coach Drew Scully, Danny Clear, I'm Nick Magnano. May the Lord bless you and have a good evening.